Lying in court, lying on the internet, and even lying on a national TV show. 50/50 is being exposed left and right by major insiders. Do you think they can continue their career in K-pop? In the last video, I've debunked all the teas revolving around 50/50 and their managing agency, ATTRAKT. Now, with more mind-blowing development, I've noticed how most people only cover the timeline while not addressing enough the critical points of this legal battle. I've come back with another video covering all the lies 50/50 are accused of by Dispatch and netizens. So, let's grab some popcorn and sip the tea with me. As of the time this video is being made, 50/50 and ATTRAKT have had one trial on August 9 and one mediation session on August 16, which they turned down to attend. Considering how the girls insisted on meeting ATTRAKT again, only after being agreed to terminate the exclusive contract, netizens believed this was a move to save faces, as going back meant they had lied about everything. So basically, the trial is expected to go on extendedly. But the most talked about thing isn't the declination for mediation, but rather how within a few sessions, 50/50's lies have already been found to pile up at the speeding light, and now not only netizens but Dispatch, ATTRAKT's investors, and even reputable industry insiders also joined the chat to expose the girls' dishonesty, unveiling how the members had not only lied on the internet, lied to the press, but also in courts, and in the latest national TV show, Unanswered Questions. Particularly, 50/50 is found to have lied about 4 major things that could potentially twist the story in a completely new way. Number 1, ATTRAKT's forcing them to a harmful diet. Number 2, ATTRAKT's humiliating 50/50 and throwing their parents' food into the trash. Number 3, ATTRAKT's forcing a large sum of debt on 50/50 while stealing a large amount of their payment. Number 4, ATTRAKT's CEO Joon lied about his caring for the members. Now, let's dive into each lie and see how people, especially important insiders like ATTRAKT's investors and Dispatch, unveiled the truth. After Unanswered Questions aired the episode where 50/50 accused ATTRAKT of malnourishing them, 10Asia joined hands and said after a detailed investigation, they had proof proving the girls' words. Between June 2020 and March 2023, ATTRAKT reportedly dedicated a meager 7.26 million won, approximately 5,420 USD, for the group's diet. To break it down, that's a mere 220,000 won, about 164 USD a month. Astonishingly, each member received an allocation of only about 41 USD per month, and for a whole year within this period, 0 was spent on the group's meals. The diet, alarmingly uniform, predominantly chicken breasts punctuated with cups of coffee. The outlet also reported from March 2021 the cost of the staff's meals, 36,000 won, was also included in the members' expenses. Fears weren't merely confined to the members. Their families expressed deep concerns over their health, and a trainer at ATTRAKT was also opposed to the diet 50/50 was receiving, saying the girls were malnourished for eating too many diet jellies as a replacement for actual meals. There was so much pressure from the members' families and the trainer that in June 2022, the group got to have their first consultation with a nutritionist, but the remedial measures also seemed inadequate, as they were still restricted to a daily budget of around 7.46 USD, enough for perhaps a salad bar meal. However, with such limited money provided, 50/50's legal representative, attorney Yoo Young-suk of the law firm Barun, stated that the ATTRAKT only gave the girls meal schedules while the purchase and preparation would be done by 50/50 themselves. However, Dispatch has recently revealed that all accusations about the poor diet ATTRAKT forced on 50/50 was a blatant lie. According to Dispatch's investigation, except for Senna, all members and past trainees for 50/50's project agreed to this detox program. Plus, it wasn't that ATTRAKT forced this diet on the girls. Rather, Unsung-il recommended this to Jun, saying that the diet worked well at the givers. At this point, don't you feel it's rather suspicious that all the bad things have something to do with Unsung-il and his company, The Givers? Anyway, back to the point. Even the part where 50/50's legal representative, attorney Yoo Young-suk, accused ATTRAKT of forcing the girls to prepare all the meals with their pin money also proved to be false, as Dispatch disclosed the order history made by ATTRAKT, including chicken breasts for breakfast, brown rice for lunch, chicken breast for dinner, and multivitamins. Basically, when the members claimed on unanswered questions that ATTRAKT didn't provide sufficient food, they and the program manipulated the truth, leaving out the details that the members willingly took part in that diet program, and the company had asked for their consent before conducting the whole dieting thing on June 2021. Humiliation and food dumping. On unanswered questions, there was also a scene where ATTRAKT staff members were accused of humiliating and dumping 50/50's food sent in by their parents. Sounds traumatic, right? This, of course, also sent waves across the internet, but it was soon discovered that the whole thing was manipulated to bend the story and paint ATTRAKT out as the bad guy. According to Dispatch's investigation into the statement of reflection made by trainee A and B in their trainee logs, as well as an employee statement who was present at the time, this infamous incident happened on July 6, 2021. Plus, it wasn't a staff member of ATTRAKT who did such things, but it was a director under the Givers named Beck. But first, let's dispel some myths. Contrary to some whispers in the grapevine, the food disposal wasn't nutritious meals or side dishes to make up for the alleged terrible diet ATTRAKT gave 50/50. Instead, everything was snacks, from choco waffles, sugar straws, moon pies, and chips to even candy bars, chocolate bars, and gummies. So how were these snacks found out, and what made Beck so angry? They were just snacks, right? Turned out the reason behind his anger was that despite the strict diet proven to work well with the Givers trainees, 50/50's members failed to lose weight, and there was even a member who reached over 50 kilograms. This led to an emergency inspection of their dormitory, and according to Beck's text messages, as well as a report on the inspection, the members' parents had been sneaking in snacks, so he had to discard all of them. On July 6, Beck, seemingly irked, summoned 50/50 to the Gangnam Center. What followed was a display of sheer disdain, as he discarded all the snacks he found in their dormitory onto the ground, shouting, "Are you guys crazy? Get your act together!" According to a witness at the incident, Beck scolded them by shouting loudly, but he didn't curse. However, he did humiliate them by making the girls pick up the snacks one by one to discard in a 50-liter trash bag. So was 50/50 really embarrassed for nothing, and ATTRAKT had caused them trauma with such experiences? Dispatch's investigation's conclusion is no, and unanswered questions, probably after joining hands with the girls, had intentionally left out details to make reality malleable, manipulating facts in favor of the group. That was not to mention how this incident occurred between June and July 2021, before 50/50 members agreed to an exclusive contract on March 5, 2022. So if this incident had caused physical and mental shock like the members and unanswered questions claimed, why would the girls have agreed to sign the contract? This was obviously another point to consider when looking at 50/50's statements. Of course, as an investigative TV show only, there are chances the information they gathered was limited due to the lack of authority compared to legal forces. However, netizens believe the fact that this episode, besides not fact-checking information aired, focused too much on the members' families giving grief had exposed their ulterior motives to guilt-trip viewers. From the legal perspective, unanswered questions was also found to violate the laws according to Articles 11 and 14 of the Broadcast Regulations. In case you haven't known, this is the last straw making the girls file for a lawsuit, and determined to stick with their legal decision to death according to the South Korean outlet Sunday newspaper. Here, 50/50 claimed that ATTRAK CEO Joon had received 9 billion won, about 6.71 million USD, for another company he founded in 2007, Star Crew Entertainment, as this was once home to famed musicians Bobby Kim and Sung Woo, and ATTRAK Music also trusted Jun's competency. They then made the investment following the payment in advance structure. According to Investopedia, advance payment is a type of payment made ahead of its normal schedule, such as paying for a good or service before you actually receive it, and the debt is borne by the individual receiving the money. So, if ATTRAKT were to go bankrupt, would the members be responsible for this debt? No. If the group fails, the CEO is the one who is ruined. In other words, this is Jun's debt. Then, what if the total revenue is higher than the initial investment in the group of 3 billion won, about 2.24 million USD, according to May 2023 settlement documents? It is at that point that the members would be paid. The revenue then would be shared according to the 7:3 ratio, 7 for the company and 3 for artists, as per their contract. However, this fact was twisted in unanswered questions, as the show let a particular accountant's skepticism take center stage. He pointed out that as Joon seemingly detached from Star Crew Entertainment on paper, the investment was actually made for ATTRAKT. Actually, on the episode, he didn't directly mention Star Crew Entertainment, but referred to it as Entertainment B, but really, as I've mentioned, Star Crew Entertainment was a long-established label even home to famed artists. How can this be a paper company? Plus, ATTRAK Music even exposed 50/50 way back in July, saying the investment was never for 50/50 because the group didn't even exist at the time. In short, both ATTRAKT and the actual investors, ATTRAK Music, had denied the members' accusations of making them bear the debt, saying they would never have to repay anything. Overall, the fact that unanswered questions left out the major truth of the legal battle just to air the lawyer's accusation that ATTRAKT poured 6 billion won to produce 50/50, which again was a number this lawyer self-claimed in court, then made 50/50 repay this hefty loan while in fact, they only had to pay back the direct investment of 3 billion won, and had exposed the lies of 50/50 about being forced to pay the debt. Dispatch also proved 50/50's accusation that ATTRAKT stole their payment to be a blatant lie because 1. ATTRAKT had nothing to do with this, and 2. The zero payment was a mistake that had already been informed to the members and even their parents. Discussing this matter, unanswered questions revealed the first quarter's payment settlement and emphasized that ATTRAKT stated that they only generated 25,000 won, about 18.60 USD, in revenue due to the whopping expense of millions of won. However, they didn't reveal the math as well as the cause behind this questionable number. Later, Dispatch found out that what unanswered questions said was true, but they only revealed half the truth. And as Benjamin Franklin once said, half a truth is often a great lie. The truth here is that according to relevant settlement documents from 2022, album sales and streaming revenue are listed as 0, leading to a revenue of only 25,000 won. However, unanswered questions left out the crucial piece of the puzzle that everything was a mistake caused and already owned up by the givers. According to the text messages Dispatch seemingly obtained from ATTRAK CEO Joon, An Sung-il admitted that an accountant from his company, The Givers, mistakenly wrote down nothing for 50/50's payment generated from their music. They also hadn't sent the settlement documents for 7 months. Instead, An Sung-il only sent a private text message to Jung Hoon-jun to admit his mistake, seemingly blaming his employees and promising to explain and correct the situation with 50/50's parents. However, it wasn't until May 2023 that the missing revenue from album sales and streaming was filled in. While that seemed suspicious because we are talking about millions of dollars missing here, Jun Hong-jin still replied cheerfully, "Let's go bigger and higher," showing his faith in An Sung-il. However, there is still one member being rigged off her profit, Kina, and surprisingly or not so surprisingly, ATTRAKT had nothing to do with this. On July 17, Dispatch released its follow-up report regarding the Giver's CEO An Song-il, claiming that An Song-il forged the signatures of Cupid's original Swedish composers and 50/50's member Kina to steal their profit from the song. This also led to his having the greatest shares in the revenue, generating of 579 million won, about 432,000 USD, as the greatest expense. Song payment and other producing fees went to An Song-il and his company, The Givers. According to Unanswered Questions, Jung Hoon-jin never attended the monthly evaluation of 50/50, implicitly accused him of lying about caring for the girls. However, Dispatch found out that Jung Hoon-jin actually attended all 23 monthly evaluations of 50/50 over the span of 2 years between May 2020 and June 2022. To back up their words, the outlet released one photo of the evaluation taking place on December 24, 2020, where Jung Hoon-jin was present, and in April 2022, the month when 50/50's lineup was finalized, the text messages of Direct Beck, who was also in charge of arranging the evaluation, revealed Jung Hoon-jin was there, yet as he couldn't stop the hiccuping, Director Beck hoped everyone could understand. So basically, almost every accusation targeting ATTRAKT and the CEO had been proven fabricated by Dispatch, and netizens ended up being so triggered that they bombshelled Unanswered Questions with waves of criticism. That was not to mention how the top Hollywood designer Vanessa Lee also defended Jung Hoon-jin, saying he once contacted her to work with 50/50 regardless of the humble background of ATTRAKT. However, she had to turn the offer down due to the packed schedule. After the episode, the hate toward 50/50 and Unanswered Questions only mushroomed. The criticism was so fierce that this program took unprecedented steps to ease the public reactions, taking down the teaser video for 50/50's episode and issuing an apology, saying they would air another episode to clarify the intention of not trying to manipulate facts and side with any parties. However, no one bought their words, as even ATTRAKT confirmed what the program broadcasted was one-sided, how they hadn't correctly used the large number of case documents sent by ATTRAKT, and even covered up for An Song-il's lying about his academic and professional background. Netizens also started to question the authenticity of Unanswered Questions' previous episodes, as well as the cunning of 50/50, considering their handwritten letter released a day before the episode aired. According to people, this was seemingly a perfect script for preemptive damage control. The letter itself was also hard to believe because despite the girls claiming there was a lot of misunderstandings, they didn't specify what it was nor provide any evidence, compared to CEO Jung Hoon-jin, who has provided alleged text messages and phone conversations. People believed 50/50 was seemingly playing the victim, and probably Unanswered Questions might have some profits if they won the legal battle. However, as all evidence were only accusations thrown back and forth by all the parties involved, I think it's still best to remain neutral and see what the court has to say about this. So, do you think it's time to take sides and support the good guy, or remain bystanders until the final judgment? I'm eager to know more about your opinions. Also, I'll keep you all up to date, so let's stay tuned for whatever is coming. Now, that's BeBoss, and thank you for watching.